Hey everyone, this review of Pankapu is an excerpt from episode 93 of my podcast called Switchcraft, all about Nintendo, 3 days a week. Make sure that you check it out in the link below. Let's jump right into the review. The last game, and this is going to be the one, this is kind of like a full review, is Pankapu, which is it's a strange game. It takes place in the world of dreams, and nightmares have crossed the veil, which is the boundary between dreams and nightmares. They've crossed the veil, and there's a god who is in charge of the dreams, and he summoned you, Pankapu, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, to protect the dreams from the nightmares in the game. Over time, you increase your stats by picking up what are essentially heart containers. You also unlock abilities and stuff like that. And let's hit the good, the bad, and the broken in the game. The good, the graphics are really, really good. The art style is very, very colorful and vibrant. I absolutely love how when you're playing the game, the camera will zoom in and zoom out as needed. So that it has like that dynamic camera. So sometimes your sprite is like huge and takes up a big portion of the screen. And sometimes you're zoomed way out and very, very far away so that you can see a lot more, like during a boss fight or when you're going to have to make a tricky jump or things like that. I really like the animation. I think that the fantastic animation coupled with the very, very bright colors give this game a very unique look. When I'm playing the game, the combat is not mindless. It seems like it is at first, but over time you get to understand that there's more and more to it, and it continually builds on itself. So like blocking is very important. You can't just go in swinging away all of the time. When I was playing the game at first, I was really irritated because I couldn't use the D-pad. I could only use the stick, and I was like, what is the problem? Why would they do that? And the reason for that is because later on, you end up getting abilities that go on the D-pad that you can switch, like which weapons you're going to be using, that kind of thing. And I think that one thing that the developer should do is just in the game, and this is just a complete, to fix this little problem that I had with the game, is to just put like the outline of your D-pad on the left side of the screen, so that you know that in the future, oh, that's going to be used for something. And you won't constantly be like, why can't I use the D-pad for this? Because it was really irritating to me. But then once I unlocked those abilities, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. The game is littered with save points. There's save points everywhere. So even if you die, you don't have to go back to the beginning of a level, which is very unpunishing and I think is great for a game like this. However, at the same time, when you die, the loading that you have to wait for takes a bit longer than I would like. It's not a deal breaker, but just something to keep in mind. It took me a really long time to load in the same level that I was on after I died. That's something that I think that they could fix in later patches and stuff. There is a lot here in this game for completionists. If you're somebody who wants to go around and collect every single thing, you're going to go back to those same levels over and over again to find stuff. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. So those are the good things. The bad things. When I was playing in handheld mode, the text is very, very hard to read. And I think that's just because this is a game, it's not exclusive to the Switch, and it's designed to be played on a TV, and scaling it down to 720p on a 6-inch screen makes it kind of hard to see. And that was a problem for me. And at times there's a lot of text on the screen, so you might have to read about something. And a lot of this text that is like huge walls of text is optional. You don't have to read it if you don't want. But because it's so small, it almost encouraged me to just skip it. I really would have liked the ability to be able to remap the buttons. Again, this is something the developer could put in later. Some of the placement of the buttons doesn't really make sense to me. I would have liked the jump button to be on B, but B is the block button. I'm sorry, I would have liked the jump button to be on B and the block button someplace else. And I would just like to be able to remap the buttons, and it would really make a whole lot more sense to me and make the game a little more palatable. And then the last thing, I kind of struggled with whether or not I should put the music into the good category or the bad category. And the music is just not for me. Now, it might be something, it's not that it's bad music, it's just not for me. It almost sounds like something you might hear if you're on hold with like a dentist's office or something. However, thank you to the devs for giving us the option to turn off the music in the game and play my own music, because that's what I love doing. I love being able to shut off in-game music and play my own music. Even on soundtracks that I really like ARMS and Mario Kart and Splatoon. I think that they have fantastic soundtracks, but I don't want to listen to their music over and over and over again when I keep playing that game. So Nintendo never gives us the ability to shut that music off. Well, thankfully, this developer did. Now, let's talk about the broken. The game crashed after I died once. I just got stuck on a blank screen, and I had to shut the game off to get it to load back up. So I lost a little progress there. It's not a huge deal, and it only happened once. I wasn't able to reproduce it. And then the game had some serious graphical glitches when switching from undocked mode to docked mode. So I was playing it in handheld mode, and I walked into the Nerd Nest, which is where my office, my recording studio, and I walked in, I docked my Switch, and then when I looked at the screen, basically the play area was still 720p, so it was down in the corner, and then the effects area or the rest of the screen was where like the effects that would overlay, and it would like freeze on those. And if you're watching the video version of this this review, which I'll put up on YouTube, I'll show you the graphical glitches that I ran into. Good news is I reached out to the developers. I emailed them to let them know about the glitches, and then I kind of posted on it on Twitter, and they said that there is a patch on the way, so hopefully those will be fixed.